Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS and the inventor of the CTKS method and BORSOG trading. If you're new, a very warm welcome and welcome back KS family. Please note I don't have WhatsApp or Telegram. The markets in the past trading sessions showed a little bit of weakness and then a recovery. Tesla is poised for record quarterly earnings. But they're not out yet. On the news front, why is Turkey blocking Swedish and Finnish NATO membership? Because it's aligned with Russia. It's very simple. And good news for Australia. Australia ranks third in crypto ATM installations after the US and Canada. And a very warm and fantastic Australia Day to my fellow Aussies. With that said, let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently down 0.34% to 22,889. Ethereum is down 2.49% to 1578. From Rule 225, Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. We need to look at the main markets to understand Bitcoin's action. In the last trading session, we saw the VIX come down to 19.2. But it did spike up a little bit before it came down. And what did we see the markets do? Pretty much the inverse of that. They spiked down and then were bought back up. Bond prices and bond yields remain in their trend. Gold has broken a key level of 1940. That is a key level. That means the dollar, instead of finding support, has found weakness. We'll look into both of these in a tick. We can see that oil is still in its basic trend here. It's not broken anything at the moment. But looking at junk bonds, that's quite intriguing. We can see that risk-on behavior is re-entering the markets. This could be really, really good for not just the stock market, but crypto. We can see that gold actually came down and tested this little bit of support that was going through here because that 1940 level is and was quite strong. But now we're seeing a decent push above the 1940 level. There's still a lot of sellers coming in here and saying, please, gold, go down. They don't want it to go up. They're probably shorting it, but the concept is gold is making its way above this 1940 and 10-cent level. That's a really important level for gold. That opens up the 1961.60 level, and you could expect to find support below around the 1931 level. So just bear this in mind. Please let me know, where do you think gold might be going in the next 24 hours? The question is, why is gold rallying? Because what we saw is a sell-off in gold as the DXY tried to break through this smart money sell resistance level at 102.060, this particular one here, but it was rejected from that. And we can see it was really rejected. The sellers came in very, very hard. We would expect the euro to be going up. We'll look at that in a minute. So we can see that the dollar has lost a lot of smart money support and is now currently under resistance. We have been here before, don't forget that, and we got a reversal. But what do we expect this time? Gold is actually throwing out some fairly good signals that the dollar is going to weaken and it's potentially going to lose this smart money support at 101.749. The next smart money support is down at 101.332. When looking at the euro in the past trading session, as the DXY strengthened, the euro sold down, but when the DXY basically tanked below that smart money level, you can see almost the inverse here. And the euro is getting above this key smart money support of 108.928. There's a couple of minor smart money resistance levels in at 0.9239 and 0.9304, but there's the most major one up at 9.647. So if we look at this 9.647 level and compare it down here to the 89.28 level, we've got a lot of support potentially below the euro, and we can see the DXY is also losing its support. Junk bonds are starting to actually break out. And with this, we would expect the euro to come up, the DXY to come down, gold to come up, junk bonds to come up, and the major indices to come up as well. But the question is, come up to where? When we look at the SPY, we saw a lot of smart money sell levels above the current price. Well, the current price of yesterday, which is around the 400 mark. And we did say that there was a likelihood that we would get a retracement, which we did actually get. This smart money, all of this smart money sell levels up at 403.53, 404.46 and 404.83 are throwing a lot of negative pressure on the S&P 500 spider. So what we can actually see is a level of smart money support at 398.60, and the SPY is currently 399.63. If the DXY continues its downward tranche, we would expect the SPY to come up and challenge this 404.83 level. So keep that in mind. And if the dollar starts to rally, we would expect negative momentum potentially down to this 391.67 level. All eyes on the DXY at the current time. When we looked at Microsoft, it was trading post at around the 252 level. It since fell, and it fell quite sharply. And we've noted that Microsoft is being realistically caught between this smart money buy level around the 231 mark and the smart money sell zone at 246 up to 257. This smart money sell level was quite significant. And I said yesterday, in yesterday's video, it's quite likely that this sell will actually push the price down. And that's what we saw. Trading pre and post market is something that everybody's done if they're in the markets for long enough, but it can be very, very chaotic. Tesla has managed to actually overcome this smart money resistance level. It was around here in the last video, and we were talking about it's not really firm just yet if it's a smart money sell level or a smart money buy level. And we did see quite a bit of weakness as the DXY rallied. This is why it's so important to look at other charts. If you're looking at the euro, you're looking at the DXY, you're actually predicting Tesla's movements. You're predicting Bitcoin's movements, the SPY's movements. You're predicting so many things, but this is kind of the last thing that everybody looks at. They don't join the jigsaw pieces together, but that's what we do as a community. If we continue to see the DXY sell down, junk bonds to come up, we would expect Tesla to absolutely rally. Go Elon. You can see just how important it is to understand how the financial jigsaw puzzle actually fits together. Another rule from the masterclass, Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. We look at the main market because we want to understand the positive or negative pressure because of all those jigsaw pieces, financial jigsaw pieces, getting put together. And then we must look at Bitcoin. In yesterday's session, we thought that Bitcoin could very well come back and test this lower smart money support level. And it did. It really came down. But smart money support is there for exactly that. It's to support the price. So when it actually came down, when it got sold down, what did the buyers do? They bought it back up. These are what these wicks represent. Does that mean that this whole candle was red at one specific time? Absolutely it does. But the buyers came in and bought it back up, forcing it to close here. So it opened there and closed down there. But the low was here in this smart money buy area. So this is what you want to keep your eye open for. These long tail rejections can tell you a lot about what price is doing, how it's feeling. At the various times, we can see a bit of a rejection here. The buyers have been quite strong, but we're starting to see a rejection up here. This because we're getting close to the selling area. Where do we anticipate things could go from here? If we consider that the DXY breaks down, If the DXY is going down, we would definitely expect a rally of Bitcoin into this smart money sell area. It's a bit of resistance, so it needs to get through here. So it could be a little bit choppy, and we could get a lot of shorts getting liquidated to push it through. But if the DXY strengthens, we would expect a downward momentum in prices to retest this smart money buy level. Where do you think price is going in the next 24 hours for the crypto market? It's a really important thing to keep your eye on. You can see understanding junk bonds, understanding Bitcoin, understanding the DXY gold, all these variety of different charts helps you predict what the main markets will do. They all cross-feed on each other. And the way that we control risk is to do our daily three-dimensional risk management code, the CTKS code, each day. We look at what the market did in the past 24 hours, what we anticipate it will do in the next 24 hours. We can't be certain, we can only stack probabilities. And then how that affects our portfolio. What percentage of our portfolio do we think will go down, go neutral, or go up? And how synchronized in with the market do we feel? We know that we control the trade or investment, but the market controls the return. And your returns are always based on your knowledge, courage, and active learning. Another piece of the jigsaw puzzle is what the longs and the shorts do with each other. We saw the longs coming out of the market because they were getting liquidated. The shorts came back into the market because they felt more confident, but now it's reversed. The longs are the ones piling back into the market, and the shorts are the ones that are getting liquidated. And it's a reasonable amount of liquidations for sure, 260.11 million in total liquidations across the past 24 hours, across 69,587 positions. And when we look at the total liquidations across the past 24 hours, we can see about 75% were long. That's what was explained when the longs were coming out of the market. But we see the longs coming back into the market. What do we see? That's because the shorts are getting liquidated as well. And we can see about 65% short liquidations in the past 12 hours. Past 4 hours, nearly 91% short. Past hour, nearly 97% short. That just bears out what we can see right here. The shorts were the ones in control, liquidating the longs, and now the longs are liquidating the shorts. It's always a game of tag between the longs and the shorts. Increasing short liquidations are pushing price higher, and as a result, we could be challenging this smart money sell level at around 23,000 up to about 23,300. So just keep this in mind. But there's a lot of resistance in there to overcome. So we'll just have to see if that resistance can actually be overcome. A lot of people think very simplistically about financial markets. Is it going up or is it going down? That's all I need to know. It's not quite that simple because there's so many interdependencies and intercorrelations between different charts. Things can go in one direction for a while and then just reverse. As you can see, it happens all the time. But you don't need certainty, you just need a strategy to profit from uncertainty. You want to cast your eye deeply across the crypto market. And when we look at the past trading session in the past 24 hours, we can see the greatest gainers: Aptos, Mina, Optimism, Filecoin, Nexo, Leo, Quant, and Immutable X. The greatest losers over the past 24 hours: Carver, LRC, Engine, ETHW, Maker, Chiliz, BSV, and STX. The top 8 has remained unchanged, and what we saw with Bitcoin's gravity, and we know no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity, to know when Bitcoin is coming down can make a very, very big difference to your alts, because the probability, and this is what we see all the time, a small movement in Bitcoin creates a much larger movement in the alts, and we're always looking for weakness and strength. BNB has been quite weak, and we can see that the stablecoin inflows to BNB or Binance USD aren't happening Masterclass students, please keep your eyes on those stable coins. Looking through the top 8, Tether, Circle, and BUSD or Binance USD, these top 3 projects in crypto are all stable coins, so we don't worry too much about them. But they can be interesting to look at, especially as they spike up and down. A lot of people think that stable coins remain at $1 and never move. It's never been the case. You can see there's so much fluctuation around their $1 peg. When we look at BNB, we can see there's been a lot of weakness. BNB is being caught up with Bitslato. What's Bitslato up to anyway? We don't even hear of these things, and then it's a big issue. But that's just the nature of the crypto game. One thing that we do know, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity, even if Binance is weak. As Bitcoin comes up, what does Binance do? It comes up. This is why you need to keep your eye on Bitcoin's gravity. But in order to understand Bitcoin, you must understand the main markets. A lot of people in crypto don't want to look at the main markets. That is a mistake. It's a really, really big mistake. XRP sold down because what happened? The DXY rallied. And when the DXY was rallying, the euro was selling off. Junk bonds were losing their push. And then they started to turn around. And what did actually happen to the crypto market? It was positively impacted. This is why it's so important to look further than just the crypto market. The one thing that we want to keep our eye on, when Bitcoin comes down, look at what it can do to the alts. ADA was up around, say, 15.5%, but then it went down to around 5%. That's quite a loss in a very, very small amount of time. You would have had to have held on for a long, long time, and then when Bitcoin came down, it would have wiped out so many profits. That's why trading is a very powerful thing to do. You can seek to lock in the sweet spots and then just step outside the market until things clarify. That's also a fairly good position to adopt. We can also see, as Bitcoin recovered, what happened to ADA? It obeyed Bitcoin's gravity, and this is why it's so important to understand what Bitcoin is doing. Looking at the next top 8, well, the next 16, what do we see? Oh, SHIB and Litecoin are changing positions. Looking at Bitcoin's gravity is very, very important, because if you're starting to see a lot of weakness in the alts, you can use it to detect if there's weakness in Bitcoin. Don't forget, it can work the other way around. And often that's an easier way to see the weakness in Bitcoin is to look at the weakness in the alts, especially weak alts. If there's a weak alt out there, you want to keep your eye on it because it can actually give you an insight into what Bitcoin will do and therefore into what the markets will do. Just to create a comparison, over this same period of time, Bitcoin is up about 8.5%. In the top 8, only ADA registered a greater percentage increase at nearly 11%. When we fan out to the next 8, we can see Solana up nearly 13%, DOT just around a little over 10.5% up, but Doge, Matic, SHIB, and Tron, and Litecoin of course, all registering under Bitcoin's gains. I'd just like to say how much I appreciate our beloved global family. And to everybody that watches and comments, it's just fantastic to share this time together. Many thanks to Art. Art said, I'm in the US and one of my accounts is with Binance US along with several others, and I haven't received any emails either. What Art's talking about is Signature Bank, Binance and Swift. I covered this in an earlier episode. Thanks so much, Art, for sharing. In yesterday's episode, we talked about the 91-year-old Japanese lady. Wow, what a superstar. She's an aerobics instructress. Or is that instructor? But she's just amazing. And Kacharia said that 91-year-old lady is a legend. Thank you, my friend. She is. Tales from the Man Cave said there's a fantastic 6-episode documentary series on longevity called Limitless on Disney+. Thank you for sharing that, my friend. Kate and I are so appreciative of all your comments, and just catching up with you each and every day is just beautiful. The beautiful thing about our global family, it's a global functional family. It's a place where everybody is happy to see you. And a big thank you to Jay for your comment. We're a very positive global family because we believe in positive excellence. And you can think of all of these little green boxes in positive excellence as a to-be list. If you want sustainable fulfillment, meaning happiness and financial success, you'll find it by ticking these green words. There's a lot of power in a positive outlook, because better habits create a better life, and all results come from the mind, and a better mind creates better outcomes. If you're not achieving the outcome that you want, you have to just look internally and start to question invisible behaviors. Are they working for you? That's more easily said than done, because we are all unaware of our negative habits. To us, it's just us. We just are. We just do those things. But it depends on how other people interpret it. The point of communication is the reception of what the message is being communicated. So every positive habit makes you, and every negative one sets you back. Creating positive habits, such as positive excellence, is absolutely the way to go. You're following crypto because you want financial abundance. That starts with your thinking. It doesn't start anywhere else. You need abundance thinking to create abundance in your life. Many people want abundance, but they think from a position of scarcity. They think that they can only win if other people lose. This is not the case. And if you make other people lose, you're going to lose sooner or later yourself. Therefore, the next time you feel like criticizing or putting another person down, just don't do it. It's just a negative habit. It doesn't show your strength. It shows something else, but it's not strength. As a community, we understand that with financial prosperity comes a lot of strings attached to it. You need to treat people well. The richer you are, the better you should be treating other people, not the worse. And a lot of this has to do with mastering fear. Positive excellence is literally about mastering fear. People fear to be respected, so they get in first and they can seek to control others, or put them down, or manipulate them. This is all fear. Kindness is our superpower, but it does come with boundaries and strength and honor. One thing that you'll find, the wealthier you get, the richer you get, it will just magnify who you are internally right now. If you're not happy right now, you won't be happy when you have 10 times your wealth. You think that you will be, but you won't be. Because wherever you go, there you are. And everything will tend to normalize. You may want that beautiful car, that beautiful house, that beautiful whatever, but they will just become normal sooner or later. And there you are. Whatever you are before, you will be during and after. That's why we focus on personal growth and personal change, because you want to be happy. That's the whole purpose of prosperity. That's also why we have the CTKS Creed, because we need to lay in the foundations that the world isn't against us. A lot of people think that the world is against you. It's not against you. Whatever you give to the world, you'll get back. If you give criticism, if you give harshness, the world will give it back to you in multiplication. If you're kind to others, the world will give that back to you as well. So that's why every day we should show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. And knowing that the universe wants you to succeed is incredibly important. Opportunities reset daily, so if it doesn't work out today, it can tomorrow. You are worthy, but go slow to go fast. You saw in the crypto meltdown a lot of people just wanting to go fast, and they fall over themselves. And they drag millions of people with them. Don't worry about getting there. Worry about how you get there. If you go all in and more, you're starting big. And that's not the way to go. Just start small and scale. Build up your knowledge, build up your confidence. Know that life pullbacks will give you the strength for the next life rally. And the important thing to say with a positive affirmation is the word I. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. And I never let a problem beat me because I solve it with positive excellence. Solving a problem with positive excellence means that you solve it from a position of kindness and not from fear. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and I look forward to catching up with you tomorrow. Okay, bye for now.